Well, everyone, it's time for us to go and take a look at the iPad Air, the M1 model, aka the iPad Air 5, and compare it against the iPad 10th generation and see which particular iPad is the better one for you. Should you go and buy the latest and greatest iPad 10, the base model iPad, or should you spend some more money and buy an iPad like the iPad Air 5, aka the M1 iPad Air? Let's go and take a look at that throughout this whole entire video. If you want to pick up either one of these particular iPads, links will be down in the description. You can get that from there and you can help support the channel at the same exact time. Now, the big thing I'd probably recommend kind of keeping in mind in the back of your head is that when it comes down to both of these particular iPads, there's going to be a slight difference. The iPad 10 is available in the brand new market at $349. The iPad Air 5 is not available in the brand new market. So just kind of keep that in mind in the back of your head. For in terms of the build quality and the build themselves, there's definitely a lot of overlap here. So the iPad 10, you're getting that 10.9-inch liquid retina display that has True Tone on it, and it's an overall pretty good looking panel, or a little bit of bezel around it, but it's nothing super crazy. And I definitely do think if I'm going to go through and pick up a specific iPad, I definitely do think this is not a bad option. The display itself is fairly nice. And with the iPad Air 5, it's kind of the same exact thing as well. It's the same exact display size, so 10.9 inches, liquid retina display. This one is giving you True Tone as well, but it's giving you this anti-reflective coating, which is actually very, very nice. The only advantage I would say the iPad 10 has is that the camera is in landscape mode, whereas on the iPad Air 5 it's on portrait mode like on every other iPad before. So that's kind of a cool thing going on here, but I definitely would tell you when it comes down to that side, the displays are very similar. USB Type-C ports on the bottom, neither one of these are Thunderbolt, they're just standard USB-C. On the sides, you do get Apple Pencil support, but the iPad Air 5 supports Apple Pencil 2, which is really big, and the USB Type-C Apple Pencil as well. Whereas on the iPad 10, it supports Apple Pencil 1 and Apple Pencil USB-C. So you don't get the Apple Pencil 2 support on the iPad Air, on the iPad 10 generation, which makes me very, very sad because I really do feel like that iPad should have supported that feature. So it is what it is. There's not much we can do about it at that point, but that is just one of those things that kind of keep in mind that the iPad 10th generation is missing out on the Apple Pencil 2 support. On the backside, single camera setups on both, Apple logos in the center. Kind of, a lot of overlap here. There's not really too many differences here when it comes down to it, but I will definitely tell you when it comes down to both these types of iPads, I would probably say that the iPad 10 is probably the cheaper one with the same type of build quality. But the fact that the iPad 10 doesn't support Apple Pencil 2 is actually a very, very sad thing in my personal opinion. So from that side, that kind of covers it up there. In terms of the cameras, this is also another very interesting thing. So with the cameras, you're getting a single 12 megapixel wide angle camera on the back and a 12 megapixel camera on the front as well. So this is something that's actually very interesting because if you're going to go through and pick up an iPad on either one of these, you're probably going to notice that the cameras are going to be fairly similar. There's not super big differences between them, and that's just kind of what ends up happening when you're buying these types of iPads. You're going to be getting very, very similar type of experience, very similar type of camera performance for the most part, and I think that's a good thing. I feel like if you're going to go through and pick up either one of these, you're not going to feel like the camera is super bad or outdated or anything like that from either one of these. There could definitely be better iPad cameras for sure, but I don't think either one of these are terrible, and I definitely do like both of these when it comes down to it. So when it comes down to that side, that kind of covers it up there for the most part as well. Now on top of that, when it comes down to the software longevity, both these iPads are still supported with software. It's a very, very nice thing that you are getting this type of software support on both these types of iPads. I don't know which one is going to last longer though. If I had to kind of guess, I would probably say that the M1 iPad Air is probably going to be lasting a longer period of time than the standard, iPad 10th generation. There's a couple reasons why I think about that, but because the chipset is, that's inside the iPad Air 5 is kind of a better one for the most part, I probably think that's going to be giving you an overall better experience than the iPad 10th generation type of, software longevity. So as of now, both of these are still supported with software. I wouldn't really switch up or change my iPad because of this, but once again, it's just one of those small things to kind of keep in mind there too. On top of that, another big thing is the performance. The iPad 10th generation is giving you that Apple A14 Bionic chip inside, but the iPad Air 5 is giving you that M1 chipset inside. This again is another very big difference here, and the reason for that is because the iPad 10 is giving you kind of like a chipset that the iPhones had. The M1 iPad Air is giving you that same chipset that basically the desktop level chip, desktop level what Mac would have. So it's a very big difference here. And I think this in and of itself is another very, very big asset for the iPad Air 5. And I definitely do feel like if I'm going to go through and pick up a device, it's a very nice thing that you're going to be getting that type of performance level on the iPad Air 5. It is a very good performing iPad. Both these are very good, but the fact that you're going to be getting that, desktop level chipset again inside of the iPad Air 5 makes it that much better for a performing tablet for sure. So overall, what I'll definitely tell you is I like both these iPads, and I definitely do think they both mean a lot, and they're both, very, very good from a performance side. But if I'm going to pick up one, I'm probably going to pick up the iPad Air 5. That is a significantly better iPad in almost every single way, and that's the one that I look at as, once again, being the better one in almost every single, way that I could think about it. So that's an amazing one. I love that iPad a lot, and that is probably the one that I'd recommend the average person to go ahead and buy. So that kind of covers it up here. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.